Hello there. How are you, Orcha? Hello there, Layla. Thank you for joining me on today. I'm excited about you being here. Thank you so much. I am excited about what we're going to talk about. And usually I've been getting the topics from many of your emails. Hello there, Brittany. How are you? Thank you for joining us on this late evening. I'm excited about being with you. Thank you. Make sure you share this. Many of you have been asking questions. Why does the narcissist trigger? And I have tried so much to control myself, but you finding it very, very difficult to do so. She said, I have been, okay. Or just say, haven't been on in a while. She said, and I had a new situation with my ex. Oh, okay. What did your ex do? Hello, Valerie Champion. How are you? Thank you for joining me on today. I'm excited about being with you again. I had a tremendous schedule, but thank you so much. Many of you kept writing, and that meant so much to me. And the comments, thank you so much. So, Orchard, what new situation did you have if you can put it on social media? If you can put it on social media, let us know about that situation. And she says, he is declining to sign the judgment order. Resistance in a court order is very common for the narcissist, for the escrow to release money to me. Because once you leave the narcissist, they don't want you to have anything. Hello there, Alicia. How are you? She said, blessings to you and all viewers. God bless you. Thank you for joining us on today. She said, I'm excited that I caught the live. You know what? I'm excited too that you caught the live. So let's find out where you are, because some of you may be 3 hours ahead. If you're overseas, you're between 9 and 13 hours ahead. She said, I am broke. Ooh. She said, I am broke and has been and been injured. He keeps saying he wanted this to be over. Well, you know, obviously that isn't. He wants you to suffer. Michigan is with us on tonight, on this night. Let's tell where we're from so everybody can know where you're from. You know, Orchard, when you're dealing with a narcissist, this is what we're going to talk about tonight, because the narcissist triggers. And when the narcissist is triggering you, he's looking for a provocation. He wants to provoke you. He's looking for a reaction. And the one thing you can't do is feed the ego or the mind of the narcissist, because once you feed them, you feed the beast. He's waiting for you to react. Hello there, Hawaii. How are you? England, hello, England. God bless you. I did a conference not too long ago with Bishop Climate Wiseman and Pastor Jennifer Wiseman, and it was an awesome conference. Even though it was on social media, it was still awesome. Thank you for joining us. Hello, Lisa. How are you? She said, good point. Yeah, he needs you to react, not respond, because once you let him know you're suffering, then it makes them feel better when you are triggered. And then he's going to not do better, do worse, because if he triggers you and you get in a place of destitution, guess what you're going to want? You're going to want to come back. You're going to want him back. And when he comes back, and if you take him back, hopefully that would not be the case, but if you take him back, then it will be worse than what got you to this place before. A narcissist despise rejection. A narcissist despise you leaving them. Even if they discard you and you go through with the divorce, they turn that. Remember on the subject, I said they are provoking, and then they accuse you. The narcissist may have discarded, but he's not going to take the discard. He's going to blame you. He's going to provoke and in the discard, and then accuse you of the discard. So he is making sure, and what the narcissist does in the courts is they take and withhold dates, change dates, get their lawyers to change dates until your money run out. Then he will allow the judgment to sanction a date because they know you don't have anything. And what the narcissists want to see you at your most critical point when you are not with them. They do not want to see you prosper. They do not want to see you go forward. Greetings to you also. Savannah, Georgia. God bless you. She said, I am not wanting him. He remarried the woman that he cheated with. Oh, wow. She said, Apostle telling the truth. She said, I lived that very thing. That's Valerie. And then who's that? That is Silver. Is that Leminisket? She said, please remember, narcs are dangerous. If you get out, don't even look back. Absolutely. And they want that same embellishment that they feel within to be your characteristic. So, Orchard, if you have family or someone that you know that can assist you, that would be nice. You may even look at some attorneys that may go pro bono that can assist you because they will hold out, because the narcissist, he don't want to release the money. So guess what? The power is with him. The money is with him. And he wants to see you suffer. Even though the kids may be with you, that has nothing to do with it. The narcissist is self-centered and they are an avenger. They want you to suffer, and they feel vindicated when you start suffering because the narcissists have this entitlement predicament. And so when you start suffering, the narcissist feel good. He feels that hole being filled up because what they want you to do is come begging back, and you cannot. She said that is exactly how my ex operated within the court system because that's what they want. They want your demise. She said, yes, I am the daughter of the Most High God, and I've become tough. She said, and I have group of friends who are praying with me. Absolutely. You know, God, the Bible said God always calls us to triumph. So you're going to win in the end. And a lot of time it's the process that is so delicate. It's the process. And what the enemy does, the narcissist does, is want your emotion to rise because they are focused on how you feel. They live on your emotion. They live on how you feel. And they want you to feel bad. They don't want you to feel good about anything. Because when you gain strength, you will see their weakness. And the mask has fallen off. And the narcissist have remarried the wife. But that has nothing to do with it. They are very patterned in their lifestyle. She's going to get the same thing you get. There is no new pathways in the life of the narcissist. They're repeating episodes, repeating pathways. And they're going to find out through the course of research as they inquire and be with them what triggers them. And they're going to use those triggers of devaluation because as long as you are devalued and as long as you are underappreciated, after a while that serotonin starts to build up. And as long as that serotonin is working in your body where your stress is at an all-time high, they know that confusion will set in. And that's why the narcissists love gaslighting. And so they would trigger you to no end. They would say something and deny that they said and accuse you of saying it because gaslighting is one of the main prompts that the narcissists use. And as you see, Orchard, in the court system, it seems unfair because the narcissist doesn't play fair. The narcissist would get them a highball lawyer, and that lawyer know how to wait you out until your finances have disintegrated. And that's why you have to have a good lawyer that knows about narcissists. They know the games that narcissists play. And they play some horrific games, but they do it with your mind and your time. She said, I'm so upset about, is that Gabby Petitio murdered by covert narcissists, just like Chris Watts. She said, young women especially must learn to guard their affection and their hearts absolutely these days. especially if you get a malignant narcissist that is given to whatever extremity it takes to bring you, to get you out of the way. And what is in their way is when you make another choice other than the choice they've made for you. Because you got to remember, the narcissists become your deciding factor. They become your leader, not just a spouse. They become your interpreter. They interpret what you feel and they tell you what you think. And so out of that, they're going to show you what you do. And when you don't do that, especially with a malignant narcissist, or you try to leave a malignant narcissist, it can be absolutely deadly and dangerous for you to do that. So you have to use wisdom. Narcissism, it seems like it's on the rise. And narcissism relationship, it start off at the mountain and it goes down to the valley. A regular relationship start off at the valley and it goes to the top. And that's why you see regular relationships are able to sustain for years and they grow stronger. A narcissist relationship that is sustaining for years have the same problem. They can be together for 60 years and she's just as insecure. She has no foundational security. Everything that he's done is worse. If he's cheating more. And the better he gets at being a narcissist, through the experience, through the different supplies that he used, because they're mirroring these supplies. And not only is the narcissist training the supply, but the supply is training the narcissist in what to do. And every new supply, the narcissists learn how they can manipulate, how they can validate and sanction what they want at the risk of everything you are, at the risk of everything you have. You have no guarantee with a narcissist. You have no guarantee with a narcissist. Remember those words. There's nothing, absolutely nothing guaranteed with a narcissist, because they are self-centered, self-absorbed, self-saturated. So everything they do has to benefit them in some way. And it doesn't matter what it costs you. And yeah, Valerie said, if you are out, don't even go back. She said, you would be punished worse. Absolutely. Orchard said, I think he knows that I am no longer emotionally as attached anymore. Oh yeah, they know. They know before you before you thought you reveal it. A narcissist, they breathe and eat your emotions. Remember, they live by it because they mimic it. And so they know when you have detached. Why? Because your behavior starts to change. You no longer cater to them. You no longer yield to them. They don't get all of that attention as before. And things that used to bother you, you now just brush it off like, that's just him and you're tired of it. He knows. And many of you know how to gray rock. You just can't stay gray rock. When you're living with someone, you have to come out. And they keep poking and poking and picking and poking and picking and provoking. And the next thing you know, you go off. And when you go off, he says, see, look at you. You can't even hold your emotion. I'm trying to love you and you going left. And a lot of times the narcissist would tape you going off and give it to the lawyer in the court of law. She said, I don't think he knows that I am no longer. Oh, he knows. He knows absolutely. And that's a promise to you, as attached anymore. But he is able to cause problems. Luckily, he lives in another state. He knows that you're not attached. He knows when you move. Remember, the narcissist, when he met you, he was very, very interested in everything about you. Everything. He was very detailed, very attentive to your every word. The hurt that you thought that he was considering and was ministering to, he wasn't ministering to. He was finding out information. He was a walking file cabinet. He was a walking computer. He was walking, how can I say, storage space that he was going to need to fill in a storage arena to bring up later against you, as you can see. And the longer he stayed with you, the more your weakness was revealed, the more ammunition he had that was against you. She said, but he is able to cause problems. Yeah, he's able to cause problems because he's going on what he know about you. Because what does not bother you, he don't use. She said, so true, they get worse. Once you cause them damage, or drop them. Oh, they can't stand that. Why? Because that's abandonment to them. And once you drop a narcissist and they feel abandoned, it can be really dangerous. They become destructive. They can tear up a car, tear up your house, beat your walls in, break dishes, or break you. The narcissists do not like abandonment, and they hate to feel as if they're rejected, because you got to remember they have all of these holes on the inside of them. They know they're different until they find out who they are, and they get that knowledge by doing it over and over. They pattern that supply. They cause that supply to be disillusioned. They hurt the supply, devalue them, cheat, lie. And when this is a competitive cycle and it's happening over and over again, it trains the narcissist what to do, what to look for, how to penetrate the minds of that supply. But the supply can also grow in how to build up a shield, how to build up a wall, how to refocus, re-gear, regain their attention, regain their position. And sometimes it takes time, especially when you're deeply in love with the narcissist. When you're deeply in love with the narcissists get away with a lot, because while you are working to build that relationship because you don't want it to falter, the narcissist don't care anything about it. No, he just don't want to be left. He don't want to be, or if he have an image, some narcissists stay married to you, not that they don't cheat, but because the image. When you have a somatic narcissist, image is everything. And when they go in public, they want to look like the perfect couple. They want you to look like everything is going good. That's why you have an outside narcissist and an inside narcissist. You have the narcissist everybody knows, and then you have the one you knows. Everybody knows the Zorro behind the mask, and you are his assistant. And his assistant know who he really is. You know those down times, those up times. Nobody knows that, because they don't utilize downtime when they're in public. If they do, they accusing someone and smearing them like they've done something. And now you see everybody get angry because the narcissist is not satisfied. And 9 times out of 10, the narcissist smears and won't take their accountability and won't take the blame. So once again, they are provoking and accusing, because the narcissists use trigger as PowerPoints. So that is so correct, Brittany. She said, high five everyone who is surviving and listening and learning. You know what? Psychic Deshton, we all are. The Vampire Slayer. Okay. I think we have met before. So let's make sure that we stay on target with our comments. She said, that's right. She said they practice their nefarious skills every time they deceive, and they get better at it. She said, no win situation the narc put you in. Absolutely. No win. They have to win. She said, you're telling the truth. She said, you may be well telling my story. Absolutely. But you will be amazed how all of our bloodlines run through this pathway. She said, yes, you describe everything so well. These people are so evil. You know why? If you take evil and turn it around, it's Live. That's you. And if you turn it around to what the narcissist is, Evil. So everything that caused you to live make them more evil. And so when they get more evil, eventually your life starts to escape you. You cease from Live and you start dealing with Evil, and then you start to die out. Your dreams start to die out. Your goals start to die out. You see that serotonin is working because the dopamine and the oxytocin, all of that got you bonded to the narcissist, is now your stomach is swelling. You are having acid reflux. It's hard for you to eat and digest your food properly. You are having sleep deprivation. You're probably having problems with your weight. You're probably eating, many of you gain weight because of the serotonin, and your system has shut down, almost shut down. So your metabolism is off. You don't feel like doing anything because you're drained. You're taking all of your energies, putting it inside the narcissist, and the narcissist is devaluing and does not appreciate it. So before long, you find yourself, it's very tedious for you to do common things because your energy has been pulled and placed in the narcissist. And the narcissist is an energy drainer. They eat energy. They have the momentum to eat all of the energy necessary to position you to power. And that's why you have to make decisions of what you will allow and what you will disallow. And once you make a decision, you don't go back on it, you don't falter on it. That's why the narcissist keep you in your emotions, and he keep you out of your thoughts. Because when you get in your thoughts, you're going to reason like, this doesn't make sense. Why am I allowing this? But if you stay in your emotion, you're going to keep feeling what you feel like crack. You're looking for that high. And the only time he love bomb you or she love bomb you is when you want to leave, and they can pick that up. Like I was telling Orchard, they know when you're a gray rock, and they know when you're no longer giving them attention. Why? Because they feed on it. It's what keep them going. They need that supply, so they know when it's not coming. Boy, I tell you, this is good right here. So let's see, what else do we have here? Or you say, yes, I was very deeply in love for sure. And 27 years of marriage. Wow. See? Absolutely. And Silver, it is that Leminescape, Scape. She said, I lived with a covert for 15 years. He does things that seem nice, but are deadly traps. Yes, ma'am. Putting up a shower bar, then use it. It came right off. She said, almost fell and hit my face on the bath faucet. See? Hey, Trina, how are you? It's good to have you on. She was on my Clubhouse. Those of you who do have Clubhouse, I come on Clubhouse every Monday at 7:45. The only way I don't come on is like when I was in Utah and we were up in the mountains and we got no reception, so I couldn't come on. But I come on every Monday at 7:45 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So you get your correct time with that. For the Eastern, it'll be 3 hours ahead. I know we're 3 hours behind Hawaii. We're 9 hours with England, and we're 11 hours with Kenya, and the same, I think 10 hours with Nigeria. So you get your time and join me every Monday at 7:45. And if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you will get information before anyone else, or if I upload. And then when you go on Clubhouse, make sure you follow me. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter, and you will, and befriend me on Facebook. You will get information that other people don't get until there is a personal appearance. You will know before time. You know, when you're dealing with a narcissist, you have to prepare your mind, prepare yourself. These young ladies are talking about 27 years. Can you imagine 27 years with someone who's selfish, 15 years with someone that's selfish? She said, the narc I divorced after 32 years. It's woo, Valerie. After 32 years. Oh my God. She said, after 32 years, I have to read this. She said, after 32 years, used me. Oh boy. She said, as a cover for him, cheating with men. Once I discovered this, he made life even worse for me, trying to leave him. Absolutely. Nobody want that secret out. Most men want to appear like men unless they come out and just be who they are. Most men don't want other men to know that they're sleeping with men and have a wife and have a children, because they're men on the down low. And so they don't want anybody to know. Well, once the mask come off, you got too much information. It's like being in a game, being in a place where you got information that is very dangerous for you to have. And the next thing you know, you're being followed by terrorists because of the information you have. And that's the way it is with a narcissist. A narcissist, when you leave them, they will stalk you. They don't stop. They don't stop. The only way the narcissist stop is he got another supply, that especially when you're dealing with the main supply, and he's positioned that supply as the main supply. So by the time you and the narcissist, he discard you or you leave him, they were already in the picture. That's why the very next week they have somebody, and they was with you like 15 years, but 2 weeks later they're getting married. That relationship did not just start. That relationship was underway even when they were with you. And what they would do is accuse you of cheating, accuse you of being disloyal. Sometimes the narcissists tell off on themselves by what they accuse you of. And remember, they would trigger you, and then once they trigger you, they will provoke you, and then they will accuse you of the very thing that they are doing. You're not doing it. The narcissist is doing it. She says, like a spiritual bond. And she said they can feel it even when they aren't in contact with you, because it is a spiritual bond. Yeah, it is a spiritual bond, because you got to remember what power work with them, and it's not a godly presence. She said, hello, mom. Hey, Jasmine, how are you? Yeah, absolutely, Trina. She said, you were this beard, his covering. Absolutely. You know, the narcissists hide behind strength because a lot of them don't have it. They may have anger, they are furious, they are irate, but you notice most of them are fearful. They are afraid for you to know who they really are. They are afraid for you to discover that what they have portrayed is only fictitious. It's superficial. It's not the real them. And so when you are being triggered by the narcissist is trying to get a reaction out of you. Why? Because that your emotions is their navigational system, so they can locate where you are. Especially like Orchard, you start pulling away. They know that you are pulling away. And the force with them is almost like a telekinesis. They know stuff that they should know. How do they know that? God is not talking to them. So how do they know that? They know that by the force that they are with. You know, if it's an evil presence, it's an evil response, it's an evil action, then it's evil. They know that by the evil, whatever presence with them is the presence that feeds them and the presence that guides them. I think because we are in our emotions, a lot of time we dismiss stuff and we have illusions about what could be, and we start living on our emotional thinking of change instead of their will to change. And so because they don't will to change, and you got an emotional fictitious insight of their change, you keep living in the future. You never accept what they have or who they are. And so you dismiss who they are. And it's to your own hurt, because they constantly bring shame. They constantly bring in a defamation of character. They are constantly devaluing you. They ghost you. And a lot of times you got to know the difference. And I'm going to teach that when the narcissist is silent and when the narcissist is infusing again. There's a difference. And many of you think you're being ghosted and he's infusing. And then many of you think he's infusing, he's just silent. So the narcissist uses his weapons well when he's trained. If you with a narcissist for 32 years, that is a lot of training for you and a lot of training for the narcissist. You cannot get away from 32 years and you don't learn. She said, so true. Angry all the time because of the holes that is in them. A difference. Yes, Trina, there is a big difference. And it's going to take another video to talk about that. And I want to talk about that. You keep writing and I'll keep teaching. And you know, when you're with a narcissist and the narcissist is triggering you, he usually causes emotional havoc. By the time he finished triggering you, you are so disturbed in your mind until there's such confusion through gaslighting, until you are in question of your own sanity. You are wondering, that you see, that you hear, do you know what you really know? Or maybe the narcissist is right. Maybe you need to ask somebody. Maybe you need to examine someone. When you are with someone who constantly demean you and never value you, and you can never accomplish anything, that they don't compete against, that they're not jealous. I mean, if you tell them they got a promotion, they're going to find something wrong with you. And the narcissists don't want you to talk about your promotion. The narcissists want to talk about their promotion. And if they didn't get a promotion, they don't think you deserve it. And so they're going to switch it off. And then you say, well, aren't you going to at least congratulate me? And they said, see, that's what I'm talking about. You always want me to congratulate you. You never congratulate me. And all you do is give the narcissist praise. If the narcissist is still there, and you are still there, you are praising somehow. The narcissist cannot live without fuel. It's just like a snake living without food, or a bat living without blood. It's like you living without air. The narcissist has to have fuel. Now, how he get it, they can get it in many ways. When a narcissist doesn't have supply, they can go to Starbucks, and the girl behind the counter or the guy behind the counter laughs and compliments them. Boom. That's temporary supply. What? Until they can latch on to someone to give them a more forceful, a more in-depth, a more surrendered foundation supply, because they got to have that energy. That is their ability to keep going. And that's why you're finding yourself drained in your mind. And some of you are so drained, you're not even sleeping. It takes so much energy just for you to go to sleep. And we talked about word salad. Go on my video and look for word salad. You got a conflict with the narcissist. The narcissist never get to the root of the matter. And the next thing you know, you're starting back over in the conversation, and you don't get anywhere. The narcissist knows they are very narcissists. Many of them are very intelligent, even those who are not intellectual. Their experience become a teacher, because they live off of what you show them. They live off of what you feel. They live off of your love for them, because they can't love you back. Come on here. So let's read here. Trina said, come on, absolutely. She said, you're telling the truth. It's only by the grace of God if I had my right mind. See, that's the narcissist. And they are mind takers. They are mind disruptors. Only God can regulate your mind, because the narcissist never ever regulate your mind. They always disrupt your thought, which disrupt your imagination, which disrupt your dreams, which disrupt your potential, which throws your whole goal life off track, and your goals are gone, your potential is gone, and it takes everything you have. And some of you escape through your business, escape through your job, and as long as you are on your job, you are this different person, and you throw everything you have into that job. That's why you're so good at it, because you know that once you get in that car and drive home, close the door, all hell gonna break loose. She said, yes. She said, an anger, mood, change, silent treatment, never satisfied, projected on me, things I never feel or would do. Absolutely. Absolutely. They live for it. And then, and see, you got someone in agreement. Daughter of the King said, yes, so drained. She said, not sleeping keeps me up talking and talking and talking. He makes sure that you stay up. Absolutely. She said, what is the name of the book on the healing of the brain? That is by um, um, Caroline Leaf, who switch off my brain and then switching on the brain. So Caroline Leaf, go to Amazon. All of her books are there, and they are an absolute blessing. Um, she said, "It's even if even one stranger shows them attention, they beam and shine as if they are on stage with an audience, because they crave it." Hello, Haka. I was thinking about you today. Thank you for joining us. You know, they because it's attention. They don't care how they get it. They will compete against their own baby. If the baby get all the attention, they go after the child. You show them all attention. You like, I gotta feed them. Let them starve. It's my time. I work. I come home. I do all of this. I do because you got some narcissists now that are really good providers. They're gonna take care of home. What they like that braggadocious attitude you have about them, and you tell folk about them. They're a good provider. Oh, they're not gonna break their reputation. Some narcissists do it so they can get the praise from it. And then when they want to punish you, it's the opposite of that. You see? But they're going to take care of the house so you won't have no testament of what they didn't do. Oh, it's good to see you too, Haka. Thank you so much. She said, I was such a major problem for my ex because when he would pull me out of the great rocking area, he got what I know now is going supernova at least twice. Let me tell you something about a super empath. See, people say they go supernova every week. Those are not super empath. They are unlearned empath. A super empath don't go every week. They may be in a relationship 10 years, and out of the 10 years, maybe 3 or 4 times, because it takes recovery time when you go supernova. It takes a lot of energy. But when a super empath, because only the super empath goes supernova, that is trauma to the narcissist. That is an injury. It's like pulling his organs out and letting them hang out, exposed to the elements. And any narcissist, that's why it takes a greater narcissist to really understand a super empath. And a super empath has to be careful with a skilled narcissist, because a super empath with a lower narcissist will usually just overthrow them if they go supernova, even scare them, where the narcissist may discard them because they are not used to that kind of energy. They are not used to that kind of power. And when the super empath goes that way, the narcissist, a lot of times they will discard because they can't handle it. But those who come back to handle it, oh my God, the love bombing, come on now. They risk it because of the counter energy they get from that super empath. Empaths know how to love. You talking about love bomb. Oh, you need to get with an empath that really cares. They saturate them. They praise them. They come to their escape. Like the young lady said, her husband used her, ex-husband used her as a covering. Because this super empath is a protector. They are a shield. They will jump on the bomb and allow the narcissist to run free. That's the level of compassion and love and care that you have from an empath. The empath don't know how to quit. They don't know how to pull out. And sometimes God have to send somebody to pull them out for the saving grace of their life, because the empath will stay there and think they have failed. And so they would try to get their measurement up by succeeding with the narcissist, which you never ever do. And the narcissist use condemnation and guilt with the empath, like, you don't love me, you don't give. And they're constantly trying to give and fulfill the narcissist. They are never full. You can't put liquid substance or anything that to hold into a place that can't hold it. They are holes in their lives, and whatever you put goes right through them. That's why they got to find another supply. That's why they got to cheat. They feel that. That's why they feel like they can't give you everything that they want, because this mechanism goes off inside of the narcissist. It teaches the narcissist. It trains the narcissist. It dictates to the narcissist. And some men you think are just mean men, they're narcissistic. They're narcissistic, and they have never been diagnosed with MPD, but they're MPD all the way. They were different as a child. The mother noticed they was different. People noticed that they was different. They're self-centered, and they're very focused. That's why many of them make excellent businessmen and businesswomen, because their focus is hyper intensive. And so when a narcissist wants to trigger you, they're going to go hyper intensive, and they're going to go through the ranks of your emotions. Every weak area you have, they're going to fight that, and they're going to make sure that emotion lie down and bow down to them. And you notice that if you break and get loud, the narcissist is going to give you the accusation, but they back off. Seem like they whatever they were after, once you go left, they back off. They got what they want it from you. And they'll say, you're not all that, especially you're a Christian. You're supposed to be a Christian. You're supposed to love God. Look at you, acting like the devil. That's why you can't, that's why you don't, and that's why you don't have. And the narcissist would keep with their accusation. But who is the accuser of the brethren? Come on now. Work with me, work with me. She said, oh, yes, initially he tried meditation for divorce. She said, what a joke. She said he had meditators, charms, and went on for 5 hours just to make simple agreements. And then the end went back into an arrangement because they have no sustainability. And Valerie said, okay, I read that one. And then who do we have? Daughter of the king. She said, yep, he's a good provider, but thankfully I am and believe by those who know him before me. Absolutely. She said, oh, Apostle Helen. She said, I have missed you. Oh, Janet, thank you so much. I am so sorry I stay away so long, but you all know that I travel and you know I have a hectic schedule, but you are always on my heart. I'm always praying and believing God for you, and you know girlfriend is coming back. I'm coming back for my family. She said, you were speaking the truth, Apostle Helen, about this. She said, I was listening to you and that I discovered I was a super empath. Yes, ma'am. And you are just as dangerous to the narcissist as the narcissist is to you. So don't ever underestimate you. You have grown into that. And you are a powerful, powerful super being. And when you go supernova, you are no longer in your regular form. You become a super being. The energy in the room changes. All the atoms, electrons, protons move to empower you. Your voice is different. Your eyes are different. And you even you can give off an aura of strength. And the narcissist knows that. And they know they've been outpowered once they bring you into that. And you notice that narcissist will back down. He may say something to get out of the house. No, he's getting out of the way of fire. They ain't totally crazy. She said, hi, Apostle. Thank you so much, Deborah. God bless you. And daughter of the king said, sound like my mother and my husband. They are provokers. Yeah, you could be the daughter of a narcissist mom. She said, I still feel compassion for his dysfunction and hurt as a human should be. She said, I would still wish for him to be happy. However, I have limits even if it takes a while. You know, Orchard, you can't afford to feel that right now. You have to feel truth and you feel compassion. But those feelings, you got to remember, they lived off them, they operate them, and they know how to trigger. You have to get truth and stand with truth. And you have to move your emotions out the way. And that sounds very harsh. But when you are in a predatory release form, you can't get around the terrorists and expect to be safe. And your emotions, what the terrorists have trained you when the terrorists catch a prey, they train them to surrender their totality to that predatory terrorist and to diminish their humanity. And when they diminish their humanity, they make those people live like animals. So this would keep them there, bind them there. This is the elephant principle. You take an elephant and you can train the elephant by tying its feet to a place that he can't move. And every time he tries to move, he gets pulled back until you one day test it. You give the elephant a little more room, and you notice the elephant never go to the limit of that chain. He stays where the chain was. Now you know you've broken his will. Then you take the chain off the elephant, and the elephant doesn't run. The elephant doesn't escape. He stays right there because his mind is broke. The narcissists want to break your mind, your will, your emotion, your imagination. He wants to break those factors because it makes you up and what you want to do. And it is your contact force of the outer rim. And what the narcissist want to do, he wants to break your mind. The last thing to break in your mind is your will. And when he turns your wheel, it's hard to capture that wheel back. It's like training a child. You want to train their mind without breaking their spirit. Because once you break their spirit, that child doesn't do anything. He can have all the potential, very intelligent, but he doesn't use it. You broke his will. And that's what the narcissist does. But except they want to break your mind, and they want the emotions to be the catalyst of who you are. Everything you operate, everything you do, they want you to operate out of feelings. They want you to operate out of emotions because they can train your feelings. And the narcissist can make love to you and take you at a high. Oh my God, it's like being on a drug. When you sleep with them, or they love bomb you, take you to the best restaurant, bring you flowers, and just lay on your lap and cry, and none of it is real, and the tears are forced. And guess what? You go on that dopamine, you go on that oxytocin, you get addicted to them, and that adrenaline going, and you get emotionally more committed. It's even more dangerous for an empath because the empath always go emotional overboard. If a regular person go at 100, the empath go at 500. So they are never at an emotional normacy. Never the empath. The empath have to learn how to curtail the emotion because they are heroic. They always are helping people escape out of things at the expense of themselves. So they lay themselves in accountability for the narcissist. And that's why the narcissist trigger you. He has to, because remember, he need a map of your location. He need a navigational system to see where you are, so he'll know what to do. Especially when they're cheating, they don't want you to leave. Now they'll bring your venereal disease over and over, and you forgive them over and over. Well, once you start that, the narcissist is not concerned about you. That's why they got worse. The more you forgave, the worse they got. That's how you end up with 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, and some people 50 years with a narcissist. And he discarded them on the 51st year and went with someone younger. And here you are, 75 years old, 80 years old, and you can't start over. Who said you couldn't start over? Age is a number. With God, all things are possible. You can always go to the finish, and you can always start over. It is not over as long as you say it's not. And you can build your mind. And that's why you need literature to read, because reading take and build the mind different than just auditory. You remember more what you see than what you hear. And so you need to see it and hear it and say it. See it, hear it, and say it. Even if you go to the mirror, look at yourself in the mirror and talk to yourself. Girl, get up. Guy, get up. You can do this. You can have this. You can make it. And when they cheated for 20 years, get up. Stop going to an illusional place saying what it can be. It haven't been. And your life is ticking. Your life is going. Your children are raised up in the house thinking that's what love is. And then they go to a dysfunctional because the mom allowed the dysfunctional, the dad did the dysfunctional, or it's the opposite of. And sometimes the children would despise what they think is the weaker one. And then the dad end up pulling the child because he pulled himself away from the child, and they're hungry for what they didn't have, not for what they did have. And you get angry because you gave the child everything. You love them the way they should be loved. They go to the daddy because they consider you as the captive. They see you as the prey, and you got to be their hero. Mom, you are what they have. Is you or him. And they either going to follow him, and some narcissists are made in your house because of the trauma they saw you go through and the trauma they went through. Now, what are we going to do about that? Do we stay in provocation where we're provoked and then accused and we're triggered? Or do we use these triggers to be stairwells, and we climb up the stairs of life? We climb up the stairs of hope. We climb up the stairs of restoration. We climb up the stairs of reset, restart. We do it again. You can do it again. I don't care. We are witnesses on this platform that you can do it again. You can have it again. You may have to cry because you love him. And the longer you stay, the more you love him, because you was committed to the relationship. They was not, there was no marriage. That was just a ceremony. But you was committed to the marriage. But it's a one-way street. And if you turn around on a one-way street, you can have a head-on collision. So you have to really think about what you're going to do. When you are being triggered, you need to examine this. The narcissists do. Why don't you? The narcissists research. Why don't you? The narcissists think and meditate. Why don't you? Come on. You can have what you want. What do you want? I want the narcissist. Well, you know, the narcissist got a choice in that. She said they will lead lives. She said they will lead our lives astray, off the cliff, missing God's true purpose for our lives, righteous peace, joy in the Holy Ghost. Absolutely. And Missy B said they are great actors. They are some of the best you ever meet. She said, I am a nurse and feel what people are experiencing. So I have a very hard time with separating myself sometimes. She said, I just look at someone and they already know what is wrong. She said, I have to pray for Jesus for help. No, what you have is mercy. That's why you're a nurse. There is a healing proponent on the inside of you, baby girl. And what you does, you are a healer. When you walk into the hospital, healing walks in. You have to learn your gift. And that's why the narcissists love you, because you're merciful. 9 times out of 10, you're empathic. But you have to learn what mercy is. Mercy is an attribute of God that's going to exceed way beyond this earth. The Bible said that his mercy endure forever. You have that gift and you have to use that gift. But that gift can be easily taken advantage of. That's why with merciful people, God usually get prophets and get strong personality with people. For those who are not Christians, God gets strong personality with people who have mercy, because they need balance until they grow up. They're like a super empath. A super empath can love you and care for you, but don't cross them. And as you grow up, that's what happens. You learn, you grow in the gift of mercy, and you can lay hands and love someone and give medication, and your patients have a different result because of what's coming through you with what you do. And their patients don't have the same result because that's not coming through them. You are a gift in the occupational world as a nurse. And unfortunately, the narcissist did not recognize the gift. They would destroy the gift. Don't let your gift be destroyed. A lot of people can recover miraculously because of the gift of mercy. And sometimes you wish you didn't care so much. Oh, but you do. So accept it and use it, train it, and grow it. Hope that helped. Orchard said, amen. She said, I'm still in it and I have to learn how to guard my emotions and my responses. She said, even oversharing is so hard. Yeah, yeah, but I pray that you listen, daughter of the King, because life comes and life goes. Know what advantage you have. Know what time you're in. Know what you can do. Get some strategy. Look back, get some hindsight, see what has changed, and see how it's helping you or deteriorating you. Life is a gift and not always a healthy one when you allow yourself to be torn down, because you can have years left with a tore down body. What good is it? The narcissists move on and you are just trying to rediscover yourself. And you find that you have all of these infirmities because of being with someone who don't care, struggling with someone who's minimizing, devaluating, and you spend years and even your organs are tired. So just use strategy with that, daughter of the King, and absolutely guard your emotion. And I know it's hard because you're there with them all every day. Orchard say amen. And Silver says, I don't know what I've done right here, but what I've done, we want to undo it. There you go. Okay, Silver, what are you saying? She said, women have their gentle, quiet spirit taken from them by the narc. She said, the narc knows that they are taking that from the women. She said, then point their crooked finger at her. for not having a gentle spirit. You know what? You got more choice than you think. You got more power than you think. You never turn over your will. You yield your will, you turn that over to God. You filter out what you give people. Those of us who went through it, those of us who know it, no, we're not an easy target anymore, baby girl. You can't come, a guy can't come talking to us, talking crazy. He's standing there by himself because we are out of there. And you got to remember, the longer you stay with a narcissist, it's almost like this supernatural spirit of just being amazed by them because they seem so perfect. The perfect mate, the perfect love, what you've ever wanted. It's like this dream state come over you, and it never came over you with anyone else. They wasn't a narcissist. They were just a crazy person, a toxic person. But a narcissist is different. You're dealing with core, NPD, a narcissist when their personality disorder. And when you got a personality, that's the person. That's them. And that's them to the core. You have to rearrange your mind when you're dealing with a narcissist because the one thing a narcissist is going to do, they're going to get into you. If I let you in, it's hard to get you out. And the narcissists get in there and they do the work on your inside. They do the work on your inside. When you're still in it, baby, you got to feed your mind. You got to read. You got to get on social media. You got to get around positivity because you got to counter out their negativity. And you can't fight at the level of release. You got to get your victory above whatever the narcissists do because you don't have to break in that relationship. But then, you really have to get some strategy. Let me just leave it there because it's up to you what you do and how you do it. Don't take your kids through this because of what you feel. Love is not a feeling. Love is a commitment. Love is a spirit. Because when you don't feel like you love him, when you're still married, you still married. There's a covenant. So you don't always feel love. But most of the time, you don't know what love is because the Bible said love is God for those of us who are Christian. And when a person don't give way to you, they don't consider you, they don't promote you, they don't advocate the things that you're doing to be successful, all of those things, you got to reconsider. Don't stay in abuse. When you come out of narcissistic homes and you've been in dysfunction, it's usually easier to accept dysfunctional. But at what time do we break and say, I've had enough of that? I would not allow myself to be abused. The way you dress your emotions, dress yourself, is the way you will allow yourself to be addressed. And when you get tired of people using you, you will go, no, you're not going to talk to me that way again. We're not going down that road again. And see, and that's why it's sometimes good to have, if you can't work, then build a business, a home-based business, so you can have some type of income coming in. And when you have some type of income coming in, you may need to get a P.O. box. You may need to get a virtual office. You may need to separate what comes to you, and especially if you're rebuilding, so that you can have the privacy of growth and development and restoration. You may need to think about some things because you have a right to live an unaltered life and free from devastation, free from devaluation. But that's going to be your choice. And you got to remember the triggering narcissist is getting you to the point of provoking you to accuse you, because the narcissist will always attach you to a stay zone. The stay zone is what's going to keep you with the narcissist. And they may attach you to a house, attach you with a car, attach you with a business, attach you with investment. And so whatever they attach you with, it's not easy to pull out because you're going to lose money. You will lose the house. So it's not so easy. Know those stay zone and attachment zones. Know what you're doing. Look at the character. Can you live with that character for 50 years? Some of you have, and look at what happened. Your body is tore down. Your mind is slowed down. Your energy has been absorbed. You fight for your kids. Some of them have turned to narcissists. Some of them are empathic. What is amazing to me is two narcissists can have a super empath. or an empathic child that grows up. And when that child is an empath, immediately that child, you have to pray that that child meets someone that can cultivate them. Because most of the time, a empath that is not rightly cultivated, that is abused by a narcissist, can become very suicidal. They go inside of themselves. And so you don't want that with your child. So you have to really think. And I know what I'm saying is hardcore. But you have to think about your life, what you want to do with it, and what you want to do with what's left of it. When you done spend 30, 40 years with somebody, come on now, there should be some kind of growth. There should be some kind of change. Why should I spend another 40, 50 years and die in hell and die miserable when I have a right to live? But you have to take responsibility. You have to choose. You say, yeah, but I've been torn down. Then get to a place to be built up, because if you don't, you won't. Tough, huh? I know, but you could do it. We believe in you. That's why you are here, because we believe in you. We did it, and we're going to help you do it. Oh, my God. She said, my son doesn't know him, neither do I. We were only together for 6 months. Then I wouldn't even worry about that. She said, yep, I felt passion like that. Absolutely. Oh, and look what Child of God said. After 20 years, my son's father gang stalked me over child support and said he wanted a relationship with my son. I guess my 21-year-old think he's an okay guy, but unfortunately, I think he dropped us. But see, the son didn't have the dad. So guess what the son wants? It's the dad. You know, if you had steak every single day, everybody saying, whoa, boy, I want a good steak. The last thing you want to see is a steak. They bring a hamburger, boy, and you just eat it like you haven't ate in 30 years. But they don't want a hamburger because that's what they have. But you want a hamburger. They want the steak. When the parent has been with the child and the child has not had that other parent, whether it's a mother or father, that person that's absent becomes the steak, because they don't have it. And sometimes you can get angry because you said, I'm doing all of this. Why do you want him? He's the abuser. They don't know that that's your husband. That's your wife. They know them as dad. So it's going to always be their hero. And you are angry because that is a dangerous hero. Because what that dad going to do, that mom going to do, is turn them against you, and they're going to smear you to that child. To the child wants the dad, and the child don't even know why they're coming to dad. There's a different malevolent force that is with them sometimes, and so this malevolent force turns them against you, and you like, wait a minute, you've been with me all of your life. It has nothing to do with influence. That has nothing to do with affluence. Influence is power, and influence is leadership. Leadership is influence. Whether the leadership started when he got 21, 25, 30, he still got that influence. So you have to make your life very impactful and shield that child. And so you got to spend a different kind of time with a child that was raised by a narcissist parent, because that's a different type of relationship. So you got to give a different kind of release vow to them. You got to spend that extra time. You got to cultivate them. You got to bring in mentors. You got to bring in books. You got to bring in videos that would cater to them and strengthen them. So when the father or the mother come with their narcissistic prawns, what they would do is understand, no, we're not going that way. And then they would be protective of you, but you got to increase your skill level, because you are dealing with someone who's being skilled on every level, who will continue their value on every level. They'll continue their languages. They're breaking barriers. They're breaking mind barriers. They have a malevolent force, some of them with them, and the people they get around is mesmerized by them. They can't figure how you end up with a divorce with such a wonderful, beautiful woman, a gorgeous man, intellectual, cerebral, somatic, and covert, which is charmers. Oh, they are charming. And so they can't figure out why you let that go. But you know, you know that it won't work. You got to protect your child. You do. You say, in the midst of this war, yeah. In the midst of that war zone, pull out those Uzi, baby. Pull out those lunchy rockers. And then get your mind strong. Keep your mind, whatever you do. Because if you can think, you can strategize. Keep your mind. Wow. She said, I experienced that with my sons becoming suicidal. It's real. Valerie, is very real. Yes, it's very real. Yeah, my son's fault, daddy said it was my fault that he wasn't there. And my son and I, she said, and my son and I think my sons believe him now. Yes, because he has influence. She's a perfect love protects. We have to learn Jesus' voice in order to survive. Absolutely. Love is patient and love is kind. See, that's all spirit. That ain't got nothing to do with your emotions. See, y'all talking word. That's all spirit. You got to get that battle axe. You got to get that sword. You have to draw it. Yes, your son believe it because he's trying to get what he didn't have. He's trying to get his daddy. And his daddy know that. They can feel when you are hungry. The narcissists know when you are thirsty. They know when you are depleted. And guess what they come with? All the water you need for your ground, except there's poison in that water. She said he never tried to get a visitation, and he's 21 now. See, the narcissists don't care when the game starts. You are the example for your children. She said, and they see your strength leaving. It will cause them to respect the predator. It will to disrespect you when they see your strength. Absolutely. I'm going to read this last series, and guys, we're going to have to come off until my next time. Therapy can always help. When you get a good therapist that understand what you're in, that understand narcissism, I will advise a good therapist, a good counselor, a good life coach, a good psychiatrist. All of these factors that are knowledgeable in narcissism can help you because they're mind changers. They go in the gates of your mind, they clean up the pathway, and they get restructuring and infrastructure into your mind. They build you. They build a callous system that will strengthen you from every error that will point to your thoughts, your dreams, your subconscious, conscious level imagery. They will definitely help you. And when a therapist get into your life, if they're good, stick with them. If you see results, stick with them. They're going to make you so angry you can spit. Stay there. That's probably the one you need the most. You don't want no one to rub you and validate you. We don't need validation. What I need from you is the truth to help me get through these dark places. Absolutely. Feeding my mind and increasing my skills is what has kept me alive. She said, free today, and I have been dead. She said, I could have been dead or in prison. Girl, if you see how many people are giving high five and slapping in the air, because that's true. The narcissists know that they've been freed from the grave. Because a woman, hell knows no fury like a woman scorned. Come on, you ain't the only one meditating at night. She got one eye closed and one eye looking at you. And then you got the nerve to eat her grits in the morning. Let me see. She said, amen, I had a son in church. She said, but now my son wants money, help too. She said, I shake my head. Thank you, God bless. Amen. She said, the problem is the narc grow worse in evil. Janet, that is so true. She said, just like true Christ followers grow more in the Holy Ghost, so there will always be division and strife, good versus evil, war and danger. That is a message all itself. Janet, that was really good. And that is so true. That is a statement that you can put on the wall. And it doesn't matter what day what year, what season, what time, it will always stand true. You will always been in a war with evil. Remember evil, EVIL, turn it backward, LIVE. You come to the narcissist with LIVE, and then when you spend too much time with EVIL, the LIVE start to die. It start to waste out. And the narcissist do an illegal transfer, your strength for their weakness, and then their holes for your fullness. And the next thing you know, you're walking around with holes where the narcissist had. But see, the thing about putting holes in a holy place, and then I don't mean HOLLY. I mean where holes are, is that it goes right through the containment. It never stays. And that's why God calls it a bottomless pit. There, it has no containment to hold anything. Everything you put in that is going to evaporate. It's going to waste away. It's going to fall through the cracks. The infrastructure is too weak to hold love when you have no ability to. And so what you are giving out got to find the cracks, the hole, the places to evaporate, because it doesn't have the environment that would keep it there. Silver said, and Jesus said he didn't come to bring peace, but rather a sword. Enemies would be them of their own household, because he knew that narcissism would be on the rise. And think about all the narcissism that you see now. She said, what a great session. Thank you. Orchard, I'm giving you a high five and a kiss on the forehead. Thank you. Brittany says, facts. And then here is the last one that I want to read would be Valerie. She said, my healing came when I accepted that he never loved me and could never love me. She said, I forgave him and gave forgiveness to myself. Staying so long. Absolutely. You know what, Valerie? You live and you learn. And when you learn, you grow. And when you grow, you expand. And when you expand, you impact. And when you impact, you influence. And when you influence others, you help others. And that's what we're here for, to impact and to influence. You know, this has been such a blessing for me. I love coming to my YouTube family, because you all are my extended family. And we work together. We pull together. We work together. We make this work. Through tears, through pain, through scrubbed knees, through a past, we make it work. But we don't stay down. You got to get up. And we're here to get you up. We either snatch you up, drag you up, but we're going to get you up. If you believe that God is giving you the best life can offer, then you can get up again. You don't have to stay. Love does not hurt and abuse. And like she said, love is forgiving. Love is kind. Love is tender. Love does not accuse and stay accusational. The enemy does that. The Bible says he's the accuser of the brethren. So when you constantly see someone provoking you to accuse you because they want to trigger your emotions, how can that be love? Well, I want to thank you. Those of you who are not, thank you, Sharima. God bless you. You are so welcome. I'm just going to call you Silver. How about that? But I want you to keep joining me. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, come on now. Go ahead and subscribe. And when you subscribe and I come on, family, we're coming together as a unit. And you know what? My travel is slowing down, so I want to come on more to you. Just pray for me. And she said, that's fine. Okay, thank you so much. She said, accuser of the brethren. Absolutely. Tricia, hello there. She said, snatch, grab, pull. She said, you are coming up and out, right? Love what you... Yeah. She said, love won't let you stay there. Absolutely. It will not. It will not. And I want you to join me on the next video. If you are not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and look for me. Family, I love doing the live, and I appreciate y'all so much for coming on with me on my live. It's been awesome. And I look forward to seeing you. Those of you, I am a life coach. I do sessions. So if you're interested, you can write me at Destiny Helper 12S destinyhelper@gmail.com. Destiny Helper, and put the 12S at gmail.com. And I can give you my office information. We can call and schedule an appointment. And I look forward to being with you. I look forward to seeing you. It is the joy of my life to hear the testimonies of how you got up, and many of you, how you are being restored, and the strength of you is coming back. You deserve that, and God wants you to have that. She said, your videos are life sustaining. Thank you so much, Valerie. That is my intent. And it joys my heart when I hear that. You know, I mean, it set me ablaze. It is about 1:15 here in the great metropolis of Seattle. And I mean, when I'm with you, I'm so energetic. So how you think I'm going to go to bed after all of this? Thank you so much. And remember, if you want session, write me at destinyhelper12s at gmail.com, and I will get back with you. I want to thank all of you. Thank you so much. She said everyone has been tuning in for the first time. You are in the right place. Thank you so much, Sharima. She said, I'm growing even in the midst of it all. Daughter of the King, and you will continue to grow, and we will continue to pray for you. She said, thank you so much for loving us to life, Apostle Helen. May God protect, increase godly wisdom. She's a guide, restore, and grant us his perfect will and desires of our heart. We receive that in Jesus' name. And Beto said, thank you so much. God bless you, and I will see you on the next video. And remember, when I come on Monday, 7:45 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, I want to see you there. I love you to life, and this was a great joy spending this time with you. God bless you. I'll see you on the next video. I don't think my video wants me to leave. What do you think? All right, everybody. I'm going to ask that you go first while I struggle with my little video. Love you.